Having someone come in a situation that they simply have no clue where to go. They've got medical bills, they've got an injury that they might still be dealing with. They're dealing with two insurance companies, their own and the other person's, and they don't know how to respond to questions, what sort of pitfalls to look for. And in that initial consultation, answering all those questions, putting them at ease, I always tell my clients the same thing. You have one thing to do for homework: get better. Get better as fast as you can, and listen to your physicians, follow their instructions, and we'll handle the rest. Oftentimes you can literally see the weight lifted off their shoulder, and or shoulders rather, and it's gratifying to know when they come in my office, they are frustrated and sometimes angry, and when they leave my office, they're put at ease knowing, okay, all I need to worry about is making sure that I get better physically, and Wes is going to handle the rest. And seeing that process through to the end is really gratifying. Get the treatment you need and listen to your doctors. What people often don't realize is after an accident or when we get injured, maybe you tweak your back mowing your lawn or something, the first thought we have is, I'm just going to take it easy for a few days and this will go away. Because often it does. Or if it doesn't, we just kind of deal with it. You take your ibuprofen and you move on. In terms of a personal injury context, it's one of the worst things you can do for your case. Give you an example. Someone gets in a car accident and their neck is hurting them, and they say that to themselves. They say, I'm just going to take it easy for a few days and everything will be fine. Well, fast forward 5, 6, 7 weeks and they still got neck pain. It's not going away. And then they decide to get into their doctor. And then they start treatment. Well, when they're released from treatment and we reach out to the insurance company, one of the first things we will hear, inevitably, is, well, your client could not have been hurting as bad as you're saying because for 6 weeks after the accident, she never got any treatment. And you've essentially given the insurance company an argument that does resonate with juries just by putting it off. And so the one piece of advice I always give my clients is get the treatment you need, follow your doctor's orders, just follow through. We'll handle the rest, but you need to get the treatment you need. Born and raised here in the Valley, went to Westwood High School. After high school, served a mission for my church down in Brazil. Came home, went to ASU, got my undergraduate from ASU, and went to law school in the Midwest, at the University of Nebraska. So I'm a Sun Devil and a Cornhusker. In terms of what sort of work experience has prepared me to practice law, I've done everything from wash dishes to cold call sales. But one job in particular, ironically enough, that does resonate with what I do now is I waited tables. I waited tables during law school to make ends meet. And I recall, I'd never done it before, I recall in that first few weeks the importance of making sure you and the person making their order had the same expectation. In other words, you better write down what they're asking for because they're going to be mad otherwise. And I made that mistake a few times in the first few weeks. And so I learned very quickly that you don't make that mistake. We do that in terms of expectations with our clients, or making sure we have the same expectations rather, all the time. I find that if a client gets upset, it is usually because something was not explained to them the way it should be. And so their expectation was not the same expectation as the attorney, or vice versa. And so I do everything I can to make sure that the client has a reasonable expectation and understands what their job is, what my job is, so that when it's all said and done, keeping in mind that some of these cases last years, all along the way, they're not disappointed or frustrated because something pops up that they weren't expecting. Like being a waiter and making sure you get the order right, making sure the expectation is the same with the person ordering food. The same principle applies in the law. making sure that the lawyer's expectations and the client's expectations are the same.